Hi yogis. Today's practice starts with a pranayama exercise that's going to help decrease stress and increase your focus and state of calm. So taking a comfortable seat, whether that be on your mat or in a chair. So bringing your right hand towards your right nostril, go ahead and block it with your right thumb. Let's take an inhale through our left nostril, filling up with air, blocking our left nostril, exhaling out your right side. Now inhale through your right side, blocking that nostril, exhaling out your left. Inhale left, block left, exhale right. Inhale right, block right, exhale left. Inhale left, block left, exhale right. One more time, inhale right, block right, exhale left. Lower your hand back down to your lap. Take a moment to resume your natural breath. Observing the effects of that pranayama. Noticing how you feel. Very nice. Okay, from here we're going to stay seated and start to warm up the backs of our legs, approaching your edge with a gentle awareness in today's practice, never forcing flexibility on our bodies. That flexibility comes with time, with dedication, with consistency. If you have a strap today, I'll show you a couple ways we can use it. Otherwise, there's always alternatives, some modifications, so that everyone can practice today's class regardless of the supplies you have at your disposal. We're going to extend our right leg, just our right leg, and you can keep your left leg bent with the sole of your foot on the inside of your thigh. Taking your torso and facing that extended leg, you can either come on fingertips and leading with your heart, start to crawl gently towards that foot, pausing when you've reached your edge. If you have a strap, you can loop that strap around the ball of your foot and use your strap starting to crawl towards your foot and then holding onto your strap when you've reached your edge. We're going to stay here for several rounds of breath. If it helps you stay focused, count your breath. So you would inhale through your nose, exhale out your nose. Count that as 1. Staying here for 5 rounds of breath. From here, slowly helping yourself back up, and then you're going to take your left hand out to the side, fingers pointing away from you. We're going to push up with that hand and come onto our shin of our left leg. Straighten your right and reach your right hand overhead, drawing a nice long line between your right pinky finger and your right toes, stretching out our right side body. Maybe turning your gaze downward, getting a nice stretch in the back of your neck. And then slowly letting yourself back down. Switching sides, extending now our left leg straight out towards the side. Right leg bent, sole of the foot to the inside of that thigh. Taking a moment first to turn our torso to face that nice extended leg, and then either crawling on fingertips and pausing, or using your strap to loop around the ball of your foot, crawling your hands up your strap until you've reached a nice sensation. Pause there, settle in, tap into your breath. 5 nice long breath cycles here. And then slowly coming back upright. Taking your right hand out to the sides, fingers pointing away from you, pushing up on that palm slowly and coming onto your shin of your right leg, stretching that left hand way overhead, reaching, 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 lowering your gaze. And then slowly lowering down. Okay, coming back into a cross-legged position, taking your hands towards your knees, resting them somewhere where they fall naturally. And we're going to take some circular motions, pick a direction, take your time, and then switch directions. We're going to come into some cat-cow shapes in this pose. So go ahead and first tuck your chin and round your spine. And then inhale, start to drop your stomach and lift your gaze. Draw your shoulders back. Tilt your pelvis forward, and then exhale, tuck that pelvis as you round your spine, tucking your chin. Again, inhale, unravel, lift up. Exhale, round. Inhale again. Draw your shoulders back, lift your heart. Exhale, round. And come back into neutral. Let's meet in tabletop position. Stacking our joints. Spreading your fingers, flattening your feet behind you. Okay, from here, go ahead and take your right foot, step it to the outside of your right hand. And with 2 blocks, if you have them, come onto the heel of your right foot now. Frame that leg, perhaps the highest setting, and you're going to crawl towards your foot and pause once again. A micro bend in your knee if you feel any types of agitation in your knee. If you don't have blocks, then we come onto fingertips as a great alternative. And then slowly start to rebend that leg, taking hands to the inside of your foot, both hands to the inside of your right foot. And start to bend, perhaps even peeling your right foot open to the side, moving into our hip. And then we're going to rock a few times between those 2 asanas. So starting to straighten your right leg, take a moment to frame it, start to crawl towards your foot. Take a generous inhale here. Let it go. Then slowly starting to rebend that leg, taking your hands inside your foot, moving into your outer right hip. And again, very slowly and controlled, straightening that leg, turning your torso, framing it, crawling towards your foot. Take an inhale. Exhale, let it out. Rebending that leg, hands inside your right foot, moving into your hip. And then coming to bring both knees together, flat feet behind you, taking your hands to your lower back, fingers pointing downward. Draw your shoulders back. elbows towards one another. Gently push forward on the lower part of your back to support you as you take a nice back bend. Opening your heart, helping yourself back to center. Lowering back down to tabletop. Left foot comes out to the side on the outside of your left hand. And then slowly shifting your weight back as you come onto the heel of that left foot, framing your leg, crawling towards your foot, pausing when you've reached your edge. Where's your breath? See if you can link your mind back to it. Perhaps taking some self-inventory here, noticing if you're tighter on one side than the other. Noticing without judgment. And then slowly starting to bend that leg, taking your hands inside of your left foot. And then adding some motion here so we won't stay long, starting to straighten that leg again, turning your torso towards it, crawling your hands, inhale, let it go, exhale, rebending that leg, hands inside your foot, starting to re-straighten your leg, framing it, coming onto the heel, crawling towards it. Big inhale here. Exhale, let it out. One more time, bending that leg, maybe even peeling your left foot onto the left edge, giving yourself some more space to access the outer left hip. And then starting to unravel here, bringing our knees together. This time we're going to interlace our fingers behind us. And then inhale, start to lift your hands as you take a back bend. Tuck your chin. Exhale, release. From here, setting up for downward dog. Taking your hands one palm print forward than you would in tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and shift your weight back towards your heels. From here, we're going to bend both knees. Shoot your tailbone higher up towards the ceiling or sky. And then very slowly start to re-straighten your legs. Let's do that again. Knees bent, hovering over your mat. Turn your tailbone up. Start to re-straighten your legs. Hugging your biceps inward. Spreading the weight evenly between both palms, all 10 fingers. Now look between your hands, and you're going to take a few steps to get to the front of your mat. Okay, so taking steps, and then when you've reached your feet in between your hands, taking a nice forward fold, generously bending both legs, holding on to opposite elbows. On your next inhale, you're going to slide your hands up your shins as you start to straighten those legs, drawing your shoulders back, reaching the crown of your head forward. Exhale, rebend your legs, forward fold. Let your torso rest on your thighs. Again, inhale to straighten your legs, halfway lift, shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale slowly to rise, reaching up, filling with air. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, bend your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back into plank. Lower all the way down to your mat. Untuck your toes, inhale, baby cobra, peeling up. Exhale, lower back down. Push through tabletop, shift your weight back towards your heels, and then settling into downward dog. Take a breath here, inhale through your nose. Exhale, let it out. Look through your hands. Take as many steps as you need to crawl towards the front of your mat. When you get there, bending your legs, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to stand, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders back, straighten your legs. Exhale, forward fold. Step back into plank. Elbow creases forward. Okay. From here, we're going to take our right knee towards our right elbow and hover for a moment. Exhale, bring it back. Now take your right knee towards your left elbow, crossing your body. Exhale, bring it back. This time, right knee towards your nose. Exhale, bring it back. And then shifting back into downward dog. Take an inhale here. Exhale, let it out. Shifting your weight back into plank. Left knee, left elbow, inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Left knee, right elbow, inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Left knee, nose, round. Exhale, bring it back. Settling back into downward dog. And then lowering your knees, the width of your mat, bring your big toes to touch and sink back into a glorious child's pose, resting your forehead on your mat or on a prop. Staying in this pose, but now allowing your hands to go behind you, palms facing upward, bringing your hands by your feet. An embryo pose is a nice hand-wrist release after doing plank and downward dog. If your mind starts to wander, imagine sending your breath upward through your spine, along both sides, lingering in between your shoulder blades, letting go of the grip there, and on your exhales, allowing sort of an internal back massage with your breath. From here, taking your time to bring your hands back forward in front of you, and then using your palms to lift your gaze. We're going to shift our weight forward, coming into tabletop for a moment, taking your right knee now towards your right hand, and helping your leg at a diagonal that works for your body. We're going to move into pigeon. With your left foot, you're going to tuck your toes, lift your left knee, and move it back, slide it back until you feel a nice stretch in your right hip. And then taking a block to tuck it underneath your hip or a blanket so that it's resting on something. And then settling down.
Noticing the sensations in your body, making any micro adjustments you might need. Bringing your attention back to your breath if your mind starts to wander. To the simplicity and the comfort of the ebb and flow. After your next full breath cycle, coming out of this pose very carefully and slowly helping yourself first up, and then coming to rest towards your right side, removing the prop, rolling onto that side, taking your time to come back into tabletop. In tabletop, we'll take a cat-cow. So inhale, look up, drop your stomach, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, round through your spine. Coming back to neutral, setting up for our second side. Taking your left knee towards your left hand, helping your left foot at an angle. Always being mindful of your knee, not overdoing the intensity of this pose, and then coming onto your right toes, lifting that right knee and starting to inch it backwards until you've reached a point where your left hip says hello, and then tucking a block or a blanket. Very carefully, taking your time, settling in, pigeon second side. You can use a prop to rest your forehead, a block. I will say something I love about practicing outside is really listening to the birds. That if you're busy and hustling through your day, they might be singing you and you don't even notice. But practicing yoga outside, the orchestra, the background music is miraculous, really. Taking your time here, we're going to slowly come out of this pose. Once you feel like you've taken that nice last breath cycle, I'm going to use my hands to help slowly push me towards my left side, removing my prop. Coming on back to tabletop. Setting up for another cat-cow. When you get there, inhale, drop your stomach, lift your heart, draw your shoulders back. Exhale, round through your spine. From here, coming to sit on a block in between your feet or on your heels, if that's accessible, into hero's pose. Resting your hands on your thighs for a moment. So speaking of nature and birds, I'm going to end class with a pranayama, sometimes referred to as bumblebee breath. I'll explain it first and I'll lead you through a round. You're going to take your thumbs to close your ears, block your earlobes, and then cover your eyes, closing your eyes and pushing gently on your eyelids. We'll take a big inhale through our nose. On your exhale, you're going to buzz. All right, just gotta trust me on this one. Some benefits to Bumblebee breath for many are immediate relief from anxiety or stress, lowering your heart rate, blocking out the external distractions, and slowing down your thoughts, especially if that train of thoughts is taking you in a negative direction. Okay, so taking your thumbs, block your earlobes, and then take your remaining fingers, cover your eyes. Leave room to breathe through your nose, so just covering your eyes. Take a big inhale through your nose. Buzz it out. Again, inhale through your nose. Your mouth is sealed. Buzz it out. Okay. Release your hands. Thanks for joining me today with the birds and the bees. It's a blessing to share my practice with you. Namaste.